All right, let's dive into The Moonlit Jungle, a ghost story. This one is, well, it's a chilling tale that weaves together art, regret, and a sin so deep it actually echoes across lifetimes. So let me ask you this. What if your biggest regret wasn't even from this life? I mean, think about that for a second. It's a haunting thought, right? Being held responsible for a choice made by someone you don't even remember being. And that is the terrifying core of the story we're getting into. Okay, so first up, let's meet our main character. He's a young painter named Atish, and he's facing this huge choice. He's got to pick between what his family wants and, well, what his own soul is telling him to do. You can see his dilemma laid out pretty clearly here. On one side, you've got his family, specifically his uncle, pushing him into the family business. You know, it's security, an arranged marriage, a whole life he just doesn't want. But on the other side, that's his art. It's freedom, but it's also total uncertainty. It's that classic struggle, head versus heart. But for Atish, this decision, it's gonna have some seriously supernatural consequences. So what does he do? He picks art. He actually defies his uncle and leaves home, basically making himself homeless. A friend sees he's struggling, kind of blocked creatively, and gives him a little bit of cash. He says, look, get out of the city, go to this town, Shimultali. Maybe you'll find the inspiration you're looking for there. And with that, Atisha's on a bus, heading for what he hopes is a fresh start. But as you can probably guess, this trip isn't just about finding some artistic inspiration. No, this is a journey into a past he has no idea even exists. So he's on the bus, and he meets this young woman. Her name is Monica. She's beautiful, really elegantly dressed, and they just start talking. And there's this instant connection, especially when she tells him about her own lost dream. She says, I also had a passion. I love to sing, but I had to give it up. And you can just feel this deep sadness in everything she says. Atisha's really moved by this, She mentions she's always wanted a portrait but never got one. So, being a painter, he sees a way he can maybe offer a little bit of comfort. He says, if you'd like, I could paint your portrait. It's the least I can do. He's trying to connect with her through the one thing that truly defines him, his art. Okay, and right here, this is where things get weird. Her reply is just unsettling. She looks at him and asks, are you sure you won't have any trouble painting my picture? And it's not just a simple question. It sounds almost like a warning. There's this strange intensity to it, Atish kind of shrugs it off, but for us, that's the first real chill down the spine. He tells her he'll go with her, and just like that, this totally normal bus ride is about to turn into an absolute nightmare. So Atish kind of snaps to attention and realizes the bus isn't moving. It's stopped. But wait a minute. Where is everybody? The bus is suddenly completely empty. Before he can even begin to figure out what's going on, Monica is pulling him, urging him to get off the bus and follow her, right into this dense, dark, moonlit jungle. And he's so confused, but he just follows. They're walking down this narrow path, and out of nowhere, this horrible, shrill cry just rips through the night. I mean, it doesn't even sound human. Atish flinches, looks away for literally just a second, but that's all it takes. He looks back, and she's gone. Vanished. Now he's in a total panic, right? He runs deeper into the jungle, screaming her name, and his desperate search is about to lead him to a place that feels ancient and very, very forgotten. He's running frantically, and then he sees it through the trees, the silhouette of this huge, ruined mansion, and from somewhere inside, he hears singing. It's this beautiful, haunting song, but it's filled with so much sadness it chills him right to the bone. He can't help himself, he's just drawn toward the sound. When he gets inside, he sees the woman, but it's not Monica. Not really. The passenger he met was beautiful and melancholic. This is a spirit. A grotesque figure named Mana Malika, with these terrifying, burning white eyes. It's a horrible version of the woman he just met. And then the spirit turns to him, and in a voice that's a twisted echo of Monica's, it says, you promised to paint my picture. Now paint my picture. That kind offer he made on the bus, it's just turned into this terrifying, inescapable command. Atish is completely frozen in fear. He's asking, who are you? What are you? And that's when the spirit finally tells him the truth. A truth that goes back way further than his own life. So, here's the backstory. Her name was Mana Malika, a super gifted singer who was about to make it big. But her husband, a guy named Aditya, was jealous. He hated her passion. And so, right there in those ruins, he silenced her. Forever. Her spirit has been trapped there ever since, just waiting for him to return.
And then comes the final gut punch of a reveal. She looks right at him and says, "Don't you remember, Aditya? In your last life, you destroyed my dream. Now, it is my turn." Turns out, Atish was Aditya. He was the man who murdered her, and she's been waiting for him.
Now, obviously, Atish has zero memory of this. But he's hit with this insane wave of guilt for a crime from a life he can't even remember. He just feels this profound sorrow for what happened to her. And so with his own life hanging in the balance, he does the only thing he can think of. He just breaks down and begs her for forgiveness. And it seems to work. His apology, it actually reaches her. That burning rage in her eyes just sort of melts away into this deep, heartbreaking sadness. And right then, his world just starts to blur. Her sorrowful form begins to fade away. She whispers, "You never understood?" And then she just dissolves into the moonlight. The world spins out of control, and Atish just collapses into total darkness. Next thing he knows, he's being shaken. Someone's shaking his shoulder. He opens his eyes, and he's not in some creepy ruins. He's back on the bus. It's the conductor telling him, "Sir, we've arrived at Shimotali." He looks over, and the seat next to him is empty. It's like Monica was never even there. So, what just happened? What was that all about? Was it just a crazy stress-induced dream? Or maybe a supernatural warning? A reminder that he, unlike his past self, chose to follow his passion instead of destroying someone else's? Or was it real? Was that the final farewell from a ghost who could finally be at peace? The story just kind of leaves you there, thinking about the ghosts we might all carry from lives we don't remember, and how the choices we make today might finally set them free.